right, everybody. And we are back here for the Fresh Takes podcast with Russo and Felice. I, of course, am Paul Russo, the Russo portion of Russo and Felice. And across from me, as always, man, myth, potential legend in the making, Nick Felice. Nick, how you doing tonight?
Oh, not too bad, Another day of sports. And
that's true. The sports world never
Cole
stops.
Anthony made the dumbest decision of his entire life. But we have a special guest here today.
Only took you under a minute to go red today, Nick.
Yeah, it's a tough day. Tough day as an Irish fan, but you move on.
Yeah, so with that in mind, we got our monthly co-host joining us today, and that, of course, is Brother Pat.
How's it going, guys?
How you doing?
Oh, it's going great. Cole Anthony, great choice. Best decision of his life. He's going to enjoy dropping 30 on Notre Dame next year. And Cuse, well, 40's coming your way.
Oh, okay.
That's not nice, man.
I wanted to say 50 because he wears the number 50, but I feel like if I say that, that's going to set the bar a little too high. So
Best we could do is anyways about Tree
it's fine.
So what are we talking about today, Paul?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it, Nick, because we got, maybe not a full slate of topics in the traditional sense, but we're going to take up the hour here, I'd say, today for sure. We'll discuss the playoffs, NBA, and Stanley Cup first. Then we'll dive into some draft stuff, the NFL draft Thursday night. First round starts then. And then Pat looks eager about the final two specifically, the draft.
Oh, just fist pumping the draft.
We'll discuss a topic that, if you follow baseball, you probably have heard enough of over the past couple weeks. But in light of the events that happened last week, we feel as though amongst us it's going to be a fun discussion to be had about bat flips, the pitcher sellies, the brawls that happen after, the unwritten rules, and how
pitcher
the times,
sellies is pitcher celebrations, if you do not know at home.
And how the unwritten rules are still here in a changing time. So we'll discuss obviously the opinions and where we stand and all that fun stuff because it's been an interesting, like I said, the start of the season really has been interesting with that. So
Pat seems eager to go.
Let's do it.
Pat seemed eager about the first couple. I wouldn't say he's eager to go about the first two.
I don't care about the NBA playoffs. It's just NHL. Just don't even turn to me. Just like blank screen.
I'll be sure to come to you for the Pens talk.
I'm just gonna tell you that.
Without further ado, though, we'll jump into the first one, the NBA playoffs. A lot of interesting stuff going on in the week since me and Nick said last week about how it's been a relatively mundane playoff, kind of like what we expected so far, and outcome wise, I think we can say that. But there's a lot of interesting undertones going on in the playoffs too right now that have kind of trickled up to the surface. Anywhere from obviously the Damian Lillard and Russell Westbrook stuff to obviously Boogie Cousins getting hurt. Even to some stuff going on out east between what was technically the game's not over yet, so the series isn't technically over yet. Between the Sixers and Nets that have kind of really trickled up, obviously, over the weekend. There
is one person in the room that has an NBA team in the playoffs. Well, are they in the playoffs?
They're still technically in the
about
playoffs.
7 minutes left of playoff time.
He is a Brooklyn Nets fan.
Tough way to go out.
Thoughts?
It's a tough way to go out when you can't make anything. But, that being said, they weren't picked to win the series. They have a very young team that has about negative playoff experience. It's going to be great for them moving forward, having this experience. They're one solid guy, one very good vet away from making some serious noise in the East.
Not to get too off track, only because it made me wonder. They have 2 max spots, right?
They got 2.
Okay.
We're going to see what happens. Again, they were not picked to win the series. I would have obviously loved to see him win this series, but It's not in the cards. They don't have a solid enough center yet.
Pat, I want your hot takes. Give us your takes.
Philly will get swept by Toronto.
Yes. Tell us how you feel about Ben Simmons.
Jared Dudley said it best. In transition, he's a phenomenal player. Get him in the half-court game, and he's average.
This was not the Pat Russo I had over the weekend.
Well, yeah, because I was getting pissed off because Joel Embiid's out here, and he's just Joel Embiid. He's a guy that just talks. He's a very good player, but he talks the most during the playoffs where he has little to no success. Can't win in crunch time, don't open your mouth. But that being said, congrats to the Sixers. They beat Brooklyn. They're going to be moving on. They haven't beat Brooklyn yet, but they will beat Brooklyn within the time of this show and be moving on. Good for them. I hate both Philly and Toronto, and if I could have it my way, I would love to see Milwaukee and Boston play 2 different series to see who can play Golden State out west.
Like a best of 3 series.
Yeah, you do like 2 series. Just do 3 mini series, like three series of 5. Whoever wins 2 out of 3 series of 5 gets.
You think Adam Silver will go for that?
I mean, Adam Silver wants to have 2 middle of the season tournaments to give 2 playoff spots. So I think Adam Silver will do whatever it takes to find LeBron back in the playoffs.
What is interesting is there is some rumblings, most notably, I guess, from Bill Simmons being the one who was reporting it. Apparently, there is some discussions in bringing the first round back to being a best of 5 series. So
the only thing I don't like about that is for the 4-5 matchup. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Let's be real. 1-8 series, it's going to get to 3-0. Maybe 3-1.
Most 2-7s are the same way, too, now.
You know what's going to happen? Patrick Beverley's going to try to take out Durant's knees like the scumbag he is and try to win that way. He tried doing it against Russell Westbrook a couple years ago, and everyone, for some reason, think that's good defense against the guys they hate. I mean, first round, you want to move to best of 5. It is what it is, but for the 4-5 matchup, I don't think that'd be fair for them. But even some 3-6s, because you got like Portland, OKC. Like, yeah, I know Portland's up 3-1 right now, but a couple shots go OKC's way, and we're probably talking a 2-2 series. So, I mean,
the Eastern Conference playoffs, I knew it when it started.
It was going to be chalk.
It was going to be terrible. It's terrible. Indiana's hurt, and the other 3 are, no offense, below average.
No, none taken. We know what Brooklyn, Orlando.
I was worried there.
We know what Brooklyn, Orlando, and Detroit are.
And so they are below average teams, and Indianapolis, without their best player, is another below average team. So, not surprised that this round sucks for the East. The second round, very, very interesting. I think Kawhi and the Greek Freak will be the difference makers, because I do not want to see Philly and Boston move on. As a Nets fan, as a Nets fan and a Knicks fan, is it tough to see Toronto, Philly, and Boston in the final 4 teams?
For me, it's tough seeing Toronto and Philly just because, like, I don't know. For me, Philly is just, like, they are full of guys I hate. And it's not like just because they're on Philly. I just hate them. No rhyme or reason. It's just I look at them, I'm like, why don't I like you? But
now on the West,
Boston, I'm indifferent about. I like Kyrie.
All right, chill.
He's
a little bit.
Player.
Chill. On the West side of things, our buddy Justin, we know very well. He still is very positive about Clippers winning in 7. Do we think he's going to be right?
No.
Where are you pulling this quote from?
Yeah, I want to know where you're pulling that quote from as well.
He was in our group, Group Me. You can get the app. It's at the App Store.
It is free.
You're not joining our chat, though.
It's the real homies?
No.
It's not the real homies. It hasn't been for a year.
Message me on Facebook. I'll get you in the group.
No, you get in this group, we ban Nick.
We will also remove you.
Anyway, Justin's name in the group was Clippers in 7.
For like an hour. And it was after they won game 2.
Can confirm it was at least 3 days.
No way, was it really? It was that long? Okay, there's like a 3-day stretch where I worked.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what he said it. Do we think the Clippers can get back into this series?
If the Clippers win game 5, if they win game 5, what is it, tomorrow? If the Clippers win game 5 tomorrow, everybody that's listening, I will take you to Parker's for dinner Friday night. If the Clippers win tomorrow, dinner on me Friday night.
Just us two or the entire people watching?
We didn't, I finally got pulled up on my phone and, I wanted to stay out east for a hot second.
Okay, so let's go back to the east then.
Because
you're not off the hook, Justin.
We all know the Clippers.
Nick,
we all know the
easy,
Clippers
Nick.
What, are the Nets making a miracle comeback?
No, I want to bring up the fact that Milwaukee won their first playoff series since 2001. And I want to play a game with you two really quick. See if, without looking it up.
Oh, I was just checking the net score. They are, in fact, down 29 with like half the fourth quarter left. So,
can you name any members of the starting 5 for the Milwaukee Bucks?
Ray Allen.
Okay, yeah.
I got that one because I saw a picture of Ray Allen next to Giannis.
We got Ray Allen. We'll call him the 2.
Well, we did just answer your question. Can you name any of them?
You did say name any of them. So
all right. Yeah. So I will give you the rest then.
Actually, nice.
I'll give you the rest of them then.
Guessing.
All right, go ahead.
Did they have a really tall foreign guy? Because they were popular.
No, they did not. All 3 of these guys are American.
LeBron.
No.
Kevin Durant.
No.
Paul George.
No.
James Harden. Russell Westbrook. Ray Allen Jr. Jesus Shuttlesworth. Give us the names.
Lil Dicky.
At center, you have Irvin Johnson.
Irvin Magic Johnson?
No. At power forward, we have Scott Williams.
Who?
Exactly. At small forward, we have Glenn Robinson.
The third or the second? Or the first?
First.
Whatever.
Whatever he is. And then at point guard,
Mike Bibby.
No. Sam Cassell.
Ah, that's right, the alien dude. Okay, but you're acting like... Okay, granted, in 2001, we were very young children. If they won the playoff series in 2001, they must have been a decently solid team.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
I just wanted to see. I wanted to see who you guys could get.
Like 2001, the Nets were the 1 seed in the East with Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin, and Kerry Kittles. Yeah, I remember that. Keith Van Horn off the bench. Yeah.
What about Kerry Kittles?
Kerry Kittles was on that team. I think Jason Collins was too.
Weren't both the Collins twins on that team?
Beats me. All I remember was Jason.
Kerry Skittles.
Yeah.
Nice try, Nick.
We'll take it. Good enough. Okay, so back to present day playoffs.
Yeah.
Give me the Bucks and the Celtics. Whoever wins that series is going to win the Eastern Conference Finals in probably like 5 or 6. Maybe 6. Toronto might sneak one out. I don't know when the next time I'm going to be on this, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to give any talk then.
May, Pat, sometime in May.
I'll be on sometime in May, so it's going to be right during the finals, right? Before the finals.
The finals start May 30th.
Maybe he'll be on our NBA Draft Lottery special show.
I don't want to be on the NBA Draft Lottery special. My team ain't in it. Your guys are.
Live from Nashville.
Actually, maybe I do. Oh, we're live from Nashville? I'm there. Okay, anyways, back to the topic at hand. Milwaukee and Boston, they're playing to go to the finals, and Toronto Philly is playing for who can lose in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I disagree. I think Kawhi Leonard's got the most experience to get to the finals, and I think Toronto's a threat because, you know why? LeBron's not in their way.
LeBron's not
LeBron is not in their way.
LeBron's not in Giannis' way either.
Well,
I'm throwing this out there.
I mean, they just won their first series since 2001.
Kyle Lowry goes ghost when it comes to playing in the playoffs. You want to know what you need? Solid guard play. You want to know where their solid guard play comes? Nowhere. Goodbye, Toronto.
I mean, he did show up in games 2 through 5, but...
Did he, though?
Mm-hmm. They won.
He left the game with a hand injury.
I did not know that.
I think he came back, actually. I don't think it was that serious. Paul, what do you got for the playoffs?
Yeah, you were the one that wanted to talk about the East more.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to bring up that since you were so quick to move on. I mean, I didn't really voice my opinion.
We jumped out west pretty quick. We did.
Yeah.
What you did.
So we'll shift focus back out west then quick.
A lot of the focus is in the west.
I guess really the only
West.
we'll call it series at this point still up for grabs, I guess, is the other game that's live right now, Denver and San Antonio. That's a series that, I guess I didn't expect San Antonio to put up this much of a fight, I guess, to be fair. Really thought Denver would probably stick it to them a little bit more, and they haven't.
What's the score?
They haven't been. Score right now.
The Spurs are the Patriots of basketball. You
Yeah,
can
no, we
never
shouldn't.
count them out if they get to the playoffs.
We got Nuggets 31, Spurs 28, 8:50 left to go in the second quarter.
The Spurs are still like
So, no, yeah, I know,
28 and
but
30-something.
you know, you look at what Denver has, and I thought, you know, for sure that Cap puts them really above, and I mean, it's the Spurs. I think I obviously alluded to Pop. I think Pop's probably the best coach in NBA history, but you know,
I don't know enough about that, but
I mean, again,
Ken Atkinson too.
I think you gotta look
he's
at
pretty good.
he's a Pop prodigy, so I mean that's obviously a series, and then you have Portland. Every other series is 3-1 for you know, the higher seeds. I thought Utah would for sure put up a fight against Houston. They really haven't been. You know, when you look at it, you know, from a score perspective, and you know, even in some degrees in the game when you watch, and you know, the gameplay they haven't been. So, look at that. Clippers, you know, they're all get one against Golden State. You ask Steve Kerr, he thinks that they can come back, and you know, I simply don't think they can. You know, I think they're just at a point where they're too young. You know, they play great. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's done, you know, very well, obviously, throughout the year. But, you know, this series, he's done well in the face of this juggernaut. But, you know, it's going to be too much, I think. You know, here, obviously, with one game left for the Warriors.
Not for Justin, though.
And then, I mean, Dame, they finally will probably get this playoff series.
Finally, they won one like 4 years ago.
Now with CJ McCollum, Jennifer. But
they won one 4 years ago. And who did they beat in that playoff series? Do you remember?
Houston.
The
At the
Houston
buzzer.
Rockets.
Right? Dwight Howard.
See, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Dame Dollar faded
But,
his left three. Catch right off the inbound.
yeah, this is looking like
Sounds
it's
like
probably
McCollum was on
going to be Portland's. I think you're finally seeing some cracks in that Thunder foundation a little bit
But
this
who
series.
will Portland play?
I mean, I'm still going to go with the Nuggets, I think. But, I mean, obviously.
I'm going to go with the Spurs. I had Nuggets for lunch. and Greg Popovich is the greatest coach of all time. But speaking of back to the East,
Oh, here we go.
Budenholzer,
Pat, what do you think of the Nuggets-Spurs series? Who do you think will get that?
But I had Budenholzer is going to
The Nets
outcoach
are only down
Stevens.
26 with 2.5 to play.
Nice.
Budenholzer is going to outcoach Brad Stevens.
Nick, could you please just stay on track?
Wait, what am I talking about? Give me the Nuggets. Dame Dollar's got free beachfront property in Russell Westbrook's dome, and I never thought I'd say that about anyone being beachfront in Westbrook's dome. But that man is in his head, and all he's done is gameplay to do it. He has said not a word to the media. He said not a word online. He's only done the very minimal trash talking the players do and just outperformed them. What else is up there? Dubs without Boogie? Yeah, they're fine. They could lose Durant. They'd be fine. They can lose Clay, and they'd be fine. They just got to make sure Curry stays healthy. And yeah,
They've won
okay,
3
there we go.
titles without him.
That's what I'm saying. Well, they won 2 titles without Durant. 1 title without Durant. They won every title without Boogie.
They won 73 games without him, too.
That is also a true statement.
And without Durant.
That is also a true statement.
You know? Well, that's the NBA playoffs.
So yeah, I don't know if I'll be back for my conference finals picks. So give me. Oh God, I really want to pick Boston, but I can't do it. Give me Milwaukee meeting Golden State in the finals. Milwaukee sweeps Toronto, and Golden State sweeps. Frickin', I don't even know who they're gonna get. Who's the 3 seed? Portland?
Portland.
Yeah, there you go. Golden State sweeps Portland. Very anticlimactic conference
That's
finals.
definitely rating friendly, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be here for the conference finals, so I had to throw my
I
picks
think
out
you
there.
might be.
I probably will be, but just to be safe, I'll throw my picks out there, man. Gotta let everyone know what I'm doing.
I respect it. So we'll move on to the other playoffs going on right now that Pat doesn't really care anything about.
I know Boston won tonight, knocked out Toronto.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
know that.
Really?
Spoiler alert. Jeez.
What? Toronto always loses. I feel so bad.
How can you feel
I
bad for
don't.
them? I don't care about Toronto.
So
They're
yeah,
not any of my favorite teams.
obviously we got 2 more series to be decided. One will be decided tonight. The other one decided tomorrow. But yeah, the NHL playoffs have been, to put it bluntly, topsy-turvy. The West is now officially wide open. The 3 best teams all year are out in the West. The number 1 seed, Calgary, joins obviously Tampa Bay. For the first time in NHL history, both 1 seeds are out after the first round.
That's the first time ever?
Yes. So Calgary's out. Nashville out. Winnipeg out. That means you have Dallas Stars as the wild card 2 moving on. You have the St. Louis Blues, the 3rd seed in the Central, moving on. You have the Avalanche, wild card number 2. Actually, Dallas was wild card number 1. Avalanche, wild card 2, moving on. And then tonight, Game 7 in San Jose, the Knights face off against the Sharks. Out east, Pat alluded to it. The Bruins beat the Maple Leafs tonight in their Game 7. Physical series. A lot of these series have been physical, especially the ones in the East. Russ kind of got that one out of hand fast. Kadri obviously will not be playing anymore with the Maple Leafs being out. So you wonder what kind of toll that will be for the Bruins facing off against Columbus, who's been well rested. The other Game 7 will be tomorrow for the Capitals and Hurricanes. That series has been extremely physical the past couple games. Ovechkin's kind of out here like trying to be a bulldozer, it seems like, while also being the finesse man that he is.
Screw the commie, go Carolina.
I mean, I agree with you, but he's kind of putting the team on his back a little bit in that regard.
Like every good player should.
So the winner of that series face off against the Islanders. Pat's poor Penguins out in the first round.
Penguins.
Poor Pens. The poor Pens. Pat,
Pat,
what's your hot take about the Pens?
I had my Malkin jersey, my Crosby jersey.
They're called
my,
sweaters.
Mario Lemieux jersey, and my throwback Marc-Andre Fleury jersey on for every single game, and they got swept. I'm so upset. I think the MLS might be better than the NHL at this point.
What?
I'm kidding. Nothing's going to be worse than the MLS.
At least the Nets won a game.
Yeah, the Nets did win a game. Nah, whatever. Let me know when hockey season's over so I can celebrate that.
Okay. Nick, you got anything?
Well, my Rangers played well. You know,
They weren't in the playoffs.
I didn't say the playoffs, Paul. This guy.
This guy.
Oh, we're talking about the playoffs.
You know, Washington better win because the ratings for this NHL playoffs are dropping. That's for sure.
Where's your information on that?
You know, no one wants to see the Islanders play. Who are they playing? Carolina.
I mean, I'd like to. The Islanders have a fun, young offensive group.
But, you know, it just...
Same thing with Carolina, actually.
I mean, but it's New York Islanders versus Carolina, so it's like... come on. For an NHL, which... you know, you need teams like Pittsburgh. You need...
You could say that with any sport, though.
Sure. Yes, you can. But
I think the NBA's doing just fine without LeBron now.
That's not what I'm getting. But he's saying from that team perspective. I'm saying, like, obviously...
I think they're doing just fine without the Lakers and Knicks.
But
what did you think about Golden State? You know what I mean?
But the The NHL is it's a dying sport. And it's
what?
It's a what?
I've never seen you blow so much smoke out of your ass than I have tonight.
Well, what am I doing?
I slipped out, Paul. I'm a little tired, but I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. It's just I think.
What did I say that made?
If Vegas wins tonight, Vegas will win the entire thing. Vegas will win it all.
Just in San Jose Sharks, you're still in it.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true. The NHL is fine. It's fine. You need some bigger names up there. That's all I'm saying. Kind of hurts.
Don't look at me for the Stanley Cup.
I'm trying not to, so I will, I guess, talk us through here for the next couple minutes with the NHL stuff, so we can get out of here with it. Yeah, obviously, like I said, after tonight we'll have only one series left to really kind of predict. So by the time we get to next week, we'll already be in the conference semis. It's going to be a weird and interesting series between Columbus and Boston. You have Columbus, obviously they're the hotter hand. If you want to look at it in that regard, only because obviously they're, for one, well rested. They have the momentum from beating a historic team in the Lightning this year. Same token, Boston's been here before, but they're coming off of being in another physical series that probably will take its toll on a really shortened rest here. That being said, I'm going to go Boston in 6. Hope I'm not jinxing them in any regard, I guess. I'm kind of in the... Obviously, we have to play the wait-and-see game.
You just don't want to see Columbus win.
Is Zdeno Chara still in?
Yes.
He still plays?
Yes.
Is he like 47?
Give or take, yeah.
This man. Oh, my God.
I wouldn't mind seeing Columbus win. It's just that you have to look at it from on paper and talent-wise and, everything else. And this was a team all year that many thought, especially at the deadline, they were kind of in sell mode / stay put and see what we got for another year. They didn't do too much at the deadline. So, it's tough. Like I said, it's probably going to be more of a toss-up series than I'm even giving it credit for. And then you look at the other matchup in the East, kind of wait and see deal. I think Carolina will beat Washington tomorrow. Then, I think that series against the Islanders will go 7, and I like the Islanders in 7 in that series. I think their offense is a bit better than their offense, obviously, but you look at the Islanders. I think their big X factor is Barry Trotz. Again, I mentioned it, before a few weeks ago. The impact he's already had down there is big. You can't deny that he won the Stanley Cup, obviously, last year, and he has that pedigree with him, and the players love him right now in that locker room. So they'll obviously play on their head, I think. Out west, Dallas versus St. Louis. Again, obviously this is two teams that you really didn't expect to see there. St. Louis, however, has been the best team in the NHL, best record since the new year. That being said, we'll go with them in 5. They got some pretty big momentum right now, beating a Jets team that this was probably their last shot at the Cup for a while here. They got over 10 guys that will be free agents, whether restricted or unrestricted, and they want money, and Winnipeg does not have that much. So it will be interesting to kind of see who will be back. We're interested to see, in my mind, the two main guys to watch are obviously for them Patrick Laine and Tyler Myers. See where they go in free agency. That's here nor there in the playoffs right now. Like I said, Blues in 5. And again, wait and see type deal for the last matchup, who the Avs will play. I still think it's the Sharks. I'm going to ride with them and probably in some way cause them to choke tonight. Kind of their motif, really, I guess, in their, history. But, the additions they've made all year from start through the deadline, I kind of like their chances. And then, I'd go them in 6 over the Avs only because the Avs are going to be rested a little bit more here, obviously. And so they'll probably squeak out a game or two would be my bet. So my thoughts at the moment on the Stanley Cup playoffs, wide open West, so it'll be interesting to kind of see who really shows their dominance in the conference semis here coming up later this week. That in mind, Nick, we will move on to an area of sport
that all our teams need help in.
Well,
how ironic that all of our teams need a quarterback, and I don't think I've seen a single mock draft in the past 3 weeks.
My team doesn't need one.
Okay.
Nick, how does it make you feel that the best quarterback of any favorite team in this room is Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Interesting. Interesting to see what we're going with here.
Healthy.
Go ahead. Take the wheel.
Alex Smith's the best one. Healthy right now, it's Fitzpatrick.
I clearly made an announcement on Instagram in February that I had changed teams, and I'm a Chiefs fan now.
So you're going to hop the bandwagon to a good team?
It was after the Super Bowl. So I'm not a playoff bandwagon, but I'm a Chiefs fan now.
All right, anyways. Quick rundown.
Go Mahomes.
Quick rundown. Cardinals would be stupid to take Kyler Murray number 1. Any team would be stupid to trade up to take him at number 1. He is going to fall flat on his face in the NFL.
Do you think the Cardinals really need a quarterback? Yeah. It all depends what they do with Rosen. Do they keep Rosen?
I don't like Rosen, but I think drafting another quarterback after you took Rosen last year is pretty much like a slap. It's a slap in the face to Rosen. It's saying, why did you take me? It's one of those moves where it's like, why would you draft me if you had any sort of intention of even looking at quarterbacks?
And if you don't know Josh Rosen, he's a quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals.
He's got a giant nose. He looks like a toucan.
And he was drafted in the draft last year.
Okay. Anyways, the best quarterback in the draft is Dwayne Haskins. The best player in the draft, I don't think it's even close. It's Nick Bosa. He should go number 1. Arizona does need to get some weapons for Rosen. So if they, for whatever reason, trade down, they need to get DK Metcalf. They should, hot take, DK Metcalf number 1. DK Metcalf.
I mean, I'm halfway with you on that one, in all honesty.
Well, the only reason is they need to get Rosen a weapon. And I don't think I've seen a recent mock draft that has Metcalf in the top 10 or 15 anymore. So they could probably trade down, get like Washington or Miami on the phone, get Cincy on the phone, someone that's is going to take a quarterback, see if they want that number 1 pick, bait them into Kyler Murray by chance. I hope the Dolphins don't bait into Kyler Murray. And then you sit there at 11, 13, 15 somewhere, snag DK Metcalf. You'll get him, you get another probably first, second, third round pick out of it. Also, I really like Devin White. That boy from LSU can play.
Yeah.
Why has Josh Allen re-entered the draft?
What do you mean?
Bad joke.
Oh, I see
Bad
what you're
joke.
Give it another try.
$2, 2 minutes. Get out of here.
I kind of agree with what Mike Greenberg was going off about this morning.
What was he talking? Because I don't.
So
I'm not up for it anyway.
On Get Up, they did an official, unofficial Get Up mock draft in which they brought in Field Yates and someone else, and they put Drew Lock going 10th to Denver.
Oh, what?
Before Dwayne Haskins gets drafted. And at that point, Greeny just went, I was like, I'm not associating myself with this anymore, this, that, the other thing, blah, 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 whatever, which I agree with him.
How the hell do you put Drew Lock above? Hold on.
Because he's a John Elway type quarterback, and of course John Elway wants the next John Elway instead of just getting a guy that is competent.
They have Drew Lock going to the Broncos at 32.
Look, man, I don't make the rules. I think they changed it because I think Greeny was literally told him to change or he wasn't associating the draft with the show anymore. So he kind of forced Haskins into number 10 at the Broncos. I don't think Denver's going to go quarterback. I hope Haskins can slip to Miami because I really want that guy. If they can get a quarterback and it's Dwayne Haskins, I will be thrilled. If they don't, take whoever the hell's available for defensive end because we could use the help there.
Well,
Wake's gone.
The mock draft I'm looking at on CBS has the Dolphins at 13 taking Cody Ford, an offensive lineman from Oklahoma.
No. I would not be okay with that.
I got here they're either going to take Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, or Kyler Murray.
The Dolphins? I hope they don't.
Redskins are going to take either Drew Lock, Jonah Williams, or Brian Burns.
Well, Jonah Williams wouldn't be terrible because he's going to give you, when you do get Alex Smith back or you do get yourself a younger quarterback, solid offensive lineman. Solid offensive lineman right there.
I mean, everything I've seen today in regards to the Redskins is come hell or high water, they're taking Haskins. Whether they trade up. Now, apparently they're talking with the Jets about trading up to the third pick. So we'll see. Apparently, though, the way it sounds, the Giants are kind of moving off of taking a quarterback for whatever reason. And it looks like Ed Oliver is kind of a target they're kind of pinning down at this point.
They need to work on that defense before they can think about a quarterback right now.
Sure, but
I think they got to work on everything other than running back.
Because after all, Eli's getting extremely younger by the day.
He is also the same age as Big Ben and Philip Rivers. And
Those
Drew Brees is older,
there's a couple
none of those three guys have fallen off a cliff like Eli has.
They also have better offensive lines than Eli has.
Roethlisberger's starting to slip.
Maybe they need to do an offensive lineman then instead of a defensive lineman. I don't know. Either way, the way it sounds, Washington's very high on Haskins.
I don't know why any team would be low on Haskins.
Whether or not they sit and wait for him at 15 if he's available, or they trade up and not risk it, remains to be seen.
I'm telling you this: if he falls past Miami, you know whoever's 14 isn't taking him. I can't remember who it is. But
the Falcons.
Yeah, they're not going to take a quarterback. They got Matt Ryan, and they're so content with being 7-9 every year. So
it appears at this point, which is the weird part. Depending upon who you ask and what day you ask them, the Cardinals are either taking Kyler Murray because they want that quarterback, or they're not and they're content with Josh Rosen, so they're going to take Nick Bosa at number 1.
You need to take the best overall player in the draft, number 1.
So who do you think is
Nick Bosa? Nick Bosa. It's not even close. In my opinion, this is a draft where it's Nick Bosa and it's everyone else. And if you need a quarterback, the first team after that first pick that needs a quarterback needs to go Dwayne Haskins. After that, it doesn't matter in my opinion, because I don't think any of the other quarterbacks are going to do anything. Everyone loved Rose. He had 44 touchdown passes in the Pac-12. Drew Lock had 44 touchdown passes in the SEC.
I don't like any of these quarterbacks, to be honest with you.
I like Haskins. He's big. He's got a big arm.
I haven't really liked any of the quarterbacks in the last 2 years.
I didn't like any of them last year. Last year, I thought they were god-awful.
I think Baker Mayfield, maybe.
Actually, yeah. I forgot about Baker last year.
It is Cleveland. And that's where all quarterbacks come to die. So,
well, I mean, he's got weapons now. Yeah. He's got Jarvis. He's got Nick Chubb. He's got your boy Odell.
And he's got a 6-10 record, which could happen. I think I'm not a Browns guy.
Wait. What was Baker Mayfield's record as a starter?
Most people don't know that pharmacy prices vary wildly, and that insurance.
What was his record as a starter?
Don't know.
Pretty sure it was 6-6.
Oh, 6-6. This guy
that was better than any Browns quarterback.
Well, yeah.
Like ever.
I mean, they had piles of shit as their quarterback. But
hey, look. All I'm saying is Baker was 6-6. The Giants were 2-15. 4-12.
Oh, don't bring in my Giants. I'm not talking about the Giants. I'm talking about Baker Mayfield.
No, Baker.
Talking about Baker Mayfield here.
Baker's got weapons. He's got a big arm, too. We'll see what he can make of it.
I'm just telling you, the Browns are going to be the biggest disappointment this year. put him on national TV early on.
I'm still gonna chalk that up to the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh well, sure. If I could trade my Browns into being the biggest dope for the Cowboys, just go all my means. But the Cowboys suck. But the Browns are going to be. People are high on the Browns, and I just don't get it. I really don't. And well, I get why I do get it because they have Odell and Baker Mayfield.
Do you understand why Mel Kiper Jr. likes the Bills?
Huh?
Mel Kiper Jr. says he doesn't know why people are sleeping on the Bills. He says they're going to be an outstanding team. Outstanding. You know what outstanding means? Competing with the Patriots for that division. He thinks they're going to be competing with the Patriots.
Cameras this way, Pat, but
I don't care what the camera. A team whose number one receiver is Zay Jones, who has dropped more balls than he's caught in his 2 years in the NFL, is going to win 11 games with an aging LaShawn McCoy and a quarterback who runs the ball more than he passes.
Yeah, that's true.
You're telling me that team is going to win 11 games and compete with New England at Mel Kiper Jr.?
Well,
idiot.
They must have a lot of picks in this draft.
I think they have 3. That's an exaggeration.
Whoa. That's an exaggeration.
Okay, that's like a under. You put the camera back on him. I'm done.
Yeah, so, this draft, it's very unpredictable.
Yeah, it is.
I'll say.
You want to know who I also don't understand?
I guess he wants the camera back.
Actually, no, just keep it on him and I'll talk. You know who I don't understand people are high on? That TJ hacky sack guy from Iowa, the tight end.
Uh-oh.
What's the big deal about him?
Must like hacky sack. But
what's the big deal? I don't get it.
He must be a good tight end. I don't know much about him.
Neither do I. I was looking at the first mock draft and it's like TJ, whatever his name is, tight end, 6th pick. I'm like, where are you getting this guy
Must be
from?
really good. But
yeah, to be projected a top 10 pick in every mock draft.
I've lost words for this draft.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to give you guys a quick potential sleeper then.
Now, are we talking like a sleeper that you're going to be taking like 5th, 6th, 7th round? Or
maybe a guy who I think you should pay attention to even on day one, but I doubt it. In fact, if you're Pat, I think this guy might trickle into the Miami ranks, in all honesty, as a potential draft pick in day 2 on Friday. Is quarterback from Buffalo, Tyree Jackson. Tall kid, very good. Kind of fits the build with what potentially Brian Flores might be looking for. Obviously being a Belichick disciple, so.
So what you're telling me is at 13 they could get Dwayne Haskins, but they're going to pass on a lesser.
No, I didn't actually say that.
The logic for Brian Flores would be flawed on that one.
I'm just saying it's a potential sleeper thing to keep an eye on.
Okay. I don't know. I've never heard of many sleepers come from Buffalo, but I'm gonna take your word on it. I guess. Who's that receiver from Mississippi who's cousins with Antonio Brown?
What's his name?
His actual last name is Brown too. I think.
The other guy, I know who you're talking about. He's a late first rounder by the way.
He's a guy I'd keep my eye on.
I do have one sleeper. There will be a Hall of Fame punter out of this draft. 20 years from now.
Well, we're talking about Hall of Fame punters. Robbie Gould apparently is demanding a trade out of San Fran. I know it's not draft related.
What?
And he's also a kicker.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why you brought up kicking footballs. All I know is today I was reading something on Twitter that Adam Schefter tweeted that they were in contract discussions and he pulled out for some odd reason and demanded a trade. Like, all signs pointed they were just happy. They were going to come to terms today. And something, like, overnight just pissed him off, and he demanded a trade.
Sounds like somebody's going back to Chicago.
Well, all I'm saying is you can't be a kicker demanding a trade. Where do you expect to go? You're a kicker. They're going to cut you before they trade you. Then you might not even get a job.
Who's a better kicker? Blair Walsh or Cody Parkey?
Cody Parkey. Next question.
Well, next question would be, in my mind, how hopping on to the final topic of the evening.
This one's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
Stop celebrating.
Let them all celebrate.
Yeah, so I'm with Pat, and obviously we'll dive into this a little bit here and dissect. But, yeah, like I said at the beginning, we have this, especially this year, especially kind of already off the bat, almost a full month into the season. We've already had a couple brawls here with people bat flipping or, you know, in the one case, just kind of staring the ball down.
Okay, yeah, that one was totally different, and he deserved to be thrown out.
Okay. But yeah, and you know, the unwritten rules I've always found to be a little bit stupid in a way. I mean, there are some I get, and some I just sit here and kind of go, why? You know, it's weird. It's interesting. You know, we've kind of had this discussion a little bit amongst ourselves, but you know, I kind of stand and let everybody celebrate, and if your feelings get hurt, just put your chin up and move on to the next one, because that's on you. If you're a pitcher and a guy cranks a friggin' home run off of you and he bat flips, maybe you don't hang that pitch, you know. If you're a batter and a pitcher gets you swinging on some, you know, nasty breaking ball, let him do a backflip, as I saw in one video. You know what I mean? Like, I think the main thing for me is, I don't want to make it sound like I'm singling Nick out in this regard, but one of the main guys in this is Chris Archer, the Pirates ace, who days before getting mad at Derek Dietrich, literally moonwalked off the mound after striking a guy out. So, I guess my main thing with this is, you know, you don't be a hypocrite in that regard, right? Like, if you think you can celebrate, don't act as if the other guy who does it to you doesn't get to celebrate. Yes, Pat, you have your hand raised.
One problem with what you said, though. If Dietrich bat flipped and at least walked down the first base line, that's different than standing in the box, waiting for your moonshot to land, and just staring at it. That is totally different from bat flipping. That is straight up disrespect to a pitcher. That isn't for the fun of the game.
Oh, but the pitcher who doesn't
No.
backflip, though?
There's a difference between celebration and showboating.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I agree with. Now, I agree with it. Let the guys bat flip. Let them moonwalk. Let them bat flip. Let them do whatever they want, as long as while they're doing it, they are moving off the mound. They are moving down the baseline. If you hit a moonshot and you stand in that box for 5 to 10 seconds to watch it land, I'm throwing 100 at your head every single time you step into that box for the rest of your career. Because that isn't called celebrating. That is called disrespecting not just the pitcher, but the game of baseball.
And so as a pitcher, then afterwards, you're admitting you'd attempt murder on someone potentially.
He's got a helmet.
It is not murder. First of all, this is baseball.
Until you miss a little bit, and instead of hitting him in a protective spot of a helmet, you drill him in the face.
So you want to talk about You want to talk about what we discussed before? You had said, why can't a batter throw a bat at a pitcher? That's a whole lot worse than a ball at a protected head.
How so? If you're hurling 100 miles per hour at someone.
No. Here's my thing, though. Again, bat flipping and standing there and not even moving.
All I'm saying, all I was trying to make with that point is, could you imagine the pure outcry if a batter launched this bat at a pitcher after getting plunked like that or anything like that?
Yes, because that's actual attempted assault and attempted murder.
And how is a pitcher not beating a batter on purpose the same thing?
Because a baseball's only lethal if it hits you in an unprotected head. A baseball bat at your head that's unprotected is lethal.
Sure,
I don't understand.
Sure, hitting someone in the head in a baseball is not good, but Archer didn't do that. Archer threw it behind him and didn't even hit him.
Again, I'm okay with bat flips. I'm okay with pitchers celebrating and going crazy. I'm okay with all of it. Again, as long as you keep yourself moving off the mound or keep yourself moving down the baseline while you do it. Because if you watch, just about 99% of the people that come off the mound screaming and backflipping, and there's the Aroldis Chapman somersault video that resurfaced, all those guys moved off the mound while celebrating. And all the guys that bat flip, the Tim Anderson one that's famous from this year, he turns and starts going down the line as he throws his bat back towards the dugout. Yasiel Puig tosses his bat while he's already moving down the line. All those guys move while doing it or move right after releasing their bat. Dietrich hit the ball, dropped his bat, and just watched it.
And the thing you're not taking...
That's disrespect.
The thing he's not taking into it, Chris Archer has been in the league for a while, has proven that he is a veteran in the game. Dietrich is an absolute nobody. You're not allowed to do that when you're a nobody.
I mean, I don't care about the being a nobody when it comes to bat flipping and celebrating on the mound. What the issue is standing in there watching your shot for 5 seconds is disrespectful to the game of baseball. I'm not saying it's just disrespectful to the pitcher, to the team you're playing. That's disrespectful to the game of baseball. Keep yourself moving down the line while you can... Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa would walk down the line and at least watch their shots.
Barry wouldn't.
What if
Barry's most iconic freaking home run when he broke the record, he literally stood in the box.
Okay, and you want to know why everyone was okay with it? Because it was 7:52.
Pat, I got another question. Pat, I got another question for you too. You work at Nike, correct?
Yes.
Okay. For a while, who was Nike's main MLB baseball athlete?
What do you mean for a while? Like at what point?
The Swingman collection.
Okay, Griffey.
Okay. And the logo for Griffey is of him finishing his swing, right?
Okay.
And you want to know what he would do on a lot of home runs like that?
Start walking down the line.
He stood in the box for a few seconds.
Because you saw all 630 of them?
And you did too?
I'm pretty sure it's well documented that he at least started moving down the line after
all I'm saying is he stood in the box for a few seconds too.
What if, like Pat was saying...
So, wait. So, I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. A guy taking a couple steps out of the box while moving down the line is equating to a guy who literally stood still for a whole 5 seconds and watched it.
No, Griffey literally would stay in the box before he would get going.
I don't think that is true at all.
Pat also said something about disrespecting the game. What if, not saying, obviously it was really crushed, but what if Dietrich guessed wrong and it wasn't gone? How does that look as a player? Not good, not hustling at all. He could have got a triple.
There's actually, I'm going to throw this out there. There's a video of a kid from over the weekend in a high school game who thought he hit a home run. He bat flipped and stood in the box.
And it wasn't gone.
Hit the wall, and it didn't even hit the wall. It one-hopped the wall. And he got a single, and his teammate who was also admiring it got thrown out at home. So tell me again how standing in the box and admiring your shots respectful to the game of baseball.
It's not.
Bat flipping and walking, I'm okay.
I thought we were talking about on for sure home runs here, but okay. I mean, you want to talk about that and one of your favorite players, Pat. Yasiel Puig bat flips singles. I mean.
And again, I said I'm okay with bat flips. I don't care what you're bat flipping.
Yeah, but he's bat flipping a single, the most average hit in all of baseball.
Also, if you pay attention to Puig, his release point for his contact, anytime he makes contact, his release point is always up here. He always flips it after every contact he makes. So Puig does bat flip everything because it's his natural motion. But of course, you're going to ignore that because you don't like Puig.
Sure.
And I just
don't like Puig because he was a Dodger.
I just don't get why the Reds were pissed off. You should have known this was coming. This is baseball. If someone celebrates and the other team clearly doesn't like it, Cervelli told them, the catcher, told them he didn't like it. You knew it was coming the very next batter. The next time he was up. So
I think their main issue was literally 2 nights before Chris Archer moonwalked off the mound. I think what they were mad at is the fact that it's okay for him to do it, but not for our guy to do it. You know what I mean?
I think it's different.
I think it's different. Celebrate.
He did going back to the
if he bat flipped and just kept moving down the line, you can walk down the line.
By the way, guys, do you want your club so you can go kill woolly mammoth while you're cavemen right now too.
What? What's that reference? I'm confused.
We're old.
So if a pitcher stands on the mound after a strikeout and just stares at the batter, your logic is that's perfectly okay.
I don't have a problem with it.
I have a problem with standing there and not moving. That's a problem.
I mean, okay, so let me ask you this then, because two, I guess, of the main guys then in the pitching realm that kind of do that is Madison Bumgarner and Clayton Kershaw.
First of all, I hate Madison Bumgarner. I love Clayton Kershaw, and I've never seen one of them after strikeouts
Bumgarner would do that all the time with Puig when he'd strike him out.
Okay, Giants and we're gonna ignore what I was just about to say. He strikes out a guy he doesn't like, stares him down once. Whatever the case may be, I'd be trying to hit a liner right back at him for staring me down. It is disrespectful to the game of baseball to stay put after whatever just happened and just stare at a guy.
And I think a fist pump off the mound is pretty similar to a fist pump around the bases when you hit a home run. I mean, like, that's similar celebrations. Sitting in a box
and just staring at
a ball is way above that. Like also, the whole moving thing.
Also, I'm going to throw something out there. I can't remember which MLB analyst said it, but he had said, everybody's bat flipping everything like it's never been done before.
And I think the thing that's similar to what Dietrich did is if a pitcher struck out the guy and just stared at him until he walked back into the dugout and then went in.
And look, pitchers have done that before, but I'm not siding with pitchers in that case either. That's still disrespectful to do. You don't stare down a guy because you struck him out. You do your little thing if there's no one on base where you walk around the mound, blah, 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 while they're throwing it around. Or if there's a guy on base, you catch the ball, the catcher goes back to you, and you get ready for the next pitch.
And Archer's just an athletic guy. Like, he's excited to pitch.
I mean, everyone is. They're all playing a kid's game.
Yeah.
Which is why celebrating is okay. And there's still a line to be had. Like, I don't get why.
Him not hustling is a terrible thing for baseball, even though it was clearly gone.
I mean, the hustle part aside, because what do I'm do, like sprint out of the box on a no-doubt home run? Like, oh yeah, that one's gone. Let me just see if I can get around the bases in 12 seconds. Like full-on sprint.
But like, the brawls, I
love when there's
I think
brawls.
They're good for baseball.
It's fun.
That's baseball.
Every sport's got their fights. Basketball has their scrums. Football's got their scrums. Baseball's got
always the top thing in sports for that night when there's a brawl.
Yeah.
Look at the
There's a brawl. There's a brawl in Russian hockey, and
except
like
brawls. Except brawls in baseball now are just like any other scrum though. It's just a lot of hold me backs. Like nobody's really doing anything for the most part anymore.
Puig tried to.
Yeah, I was gonna say Puig.
I said for the most part, like how many times like. You tend to get like the one a year where you get like actual punches thrown, but for the most part they turn into like the crap in the NBA where all you see is a bunch of hold me backs and like.
Well, I'm also gonna throw this one thing out there. I feel like when it gets to a point in all those brawls, something clicks in all those guys where they're like let's be honest, with Embiid, Simmons, and Butler going after like Dudley and whoever else was involved in that little scrum. Something had to have clicked in their heads like, if I swing, I'm suspended for a couple games. And let's be real here. What's more important, the Nets losing Dudley or the Sixers losing Embiid and Simmons? So I feel like something clicks in all those guys' heads where it's, I'm not going to throw a punch because it could get real. I could be suspended for a few games, cost my team a few wins. No, that's just me. But I mean, if you really expect to see every brawl turn out into full-fledged fist fights, sorry.
I mean, I'm not saying whatever, but all I'm saying is like they aren't like legit brawls if nobody's throwing a punch.
All right, watch more hockey.
They're more skirmishes.
I mean,
watch more hockey then if you want to see brawls. You want to see fist fights? Watch sports where they allow it.
I might. At least nobody over there is getting hurt feelings when they get shown up.
I think I'll be honest. He's only mad about, or he only liked what Dietrich did because it was against Chris Archer and the Pirates.
Keep playing that. Keep playing that lane, Pat. Go ahead.
You'd have no reason to hate the Pirates, and you do.
That's what you think. If that's what you
fun fact, Pat.
If that's what you think, Pat.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead. That's what you think.
I'm just saying.
And I'm just saying. Go ahead and think that way.
Save this. We'll eat a donut after the show. We'll talk sports.
Anyway, Pat, go ahead. What's your fun fact of the week?
You guys are going to be blown away. All you viewers are going to be blown away by it too. So, fun fact: Cookie Monster, beloved character on Sesame Street. His real name isn't Cookie Monster. He has an actual name. His name is Sid. In an episode, I think it's in like 2004, it was like about the life of Cookie Monster or something. And he was talking about how he was not always called Cookie Monster.
But that's like a name I expected it to be, though.
His name is Sid.
Just something absurd.
He hasn't always loved cookies. Just one day he started eating cookies and they changed his name. Like, everyone he knew changed his name from Sid to Cookie Monster.
Wait a second.
Look it up, I swear to God.
What do you like before?
His name was just Sid.
No, but, like, what did you like before Cookie? Like, this is, like...
His name was just Sid. He didn't love cookies.
I feel like this fact has just made me, like, question more things.
Google it.
I'm not downing you. I'm saying it's question.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Bing it. Screw Google. Bing it. Yahoo search it. I don't know.
Ask Jeeves.
We'll see Pat in a month.
Nick, who you shouting out?
2 legends today.
2?
Yeah,
a double
shout out.
Double
shout of love.
I'm going to shout out the great Little Dicky on his great new single this week.
You mean his decent new video?
It was also...
Little Dicky, apparently a proud listener of our program.
I have to give out shout outs to the features in that. Rita Ora, Haley Steinfeld, Ed Sheeran, I Don't Have All Day, and Charlie Puth. But... and Zach Brown. And Halsey. And the other special shout out goes to a legend here at Finger Lakes. Never got a chance to meet him. The Web Dog, 50 years. Harold Weber. He's a legend. And now me and Paul have to fill his shoes. 50 years of radio. Congratulations, Web Dog.
That's true.
So
thank you, Nick.
50 years of radio?
Yeah, I got like 49 more.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Pat, for joining us this week for some great banter. As always,
welcome to the fam.
As always, like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. That'll do it for today here on the Fresh Takes Podcast. We'll see you guys next week.